Stephen Curry shocked the basketball world by declaring himself the best point guard over Magic Johnson, sparking fierce debate and raising the stakes with Stephen Smith weighing in.
Sensational, electrifying, or dropping. I mean, it's hard to put into words the greatness of this dude. But he put it on display and basically put the world on notice. There's levels to this. There are stars all over the place. There are even superstars that you can look. But there's still another level. And there's nobody on Sacramento that could touch that level. Wilbon and I watched this game together, and I literally said, Wilbon, I'm not definitively stating it. I had to be educated, Jalen, by the Godfather. I had to be educated by other Hall of Famers who will remain nameless. But I literally said, we need to have the discussion as to whether or not this man is the greatest point guard who has ever lived, because when you're talking about impact and the fact that he can affect so many things because of his shooting ability, I've never seen anything like it. But I'm not surprised.
Historic, that's the word. 50 in a game 7, 50. On the road, 50. It's never happened. Not in since the merger, not, in the era of this or that or these combination garbage statistics. We just saw the greatest Game 7 offensive performance. I was trying to figure out, when have I ever seen a Game 7? Charles Barkley had a 44 and 24 rebound game, I think, against Seattle, which means against Sean Kemp.
Yes.
That's crazy. But this, he demoralized the opponent. Clay's not having a game. Clay and Wiggins can't hit a shot. And Steph Curry demoralized the number 3 seed, a team that had just beat them down in San Francisco the previous game. That's how great Steph Curry.
Hours ago.
And one thing, Stephen and I, we were going back and forth. At this point, we got time because it's a 20-point game. We were going to drag Jalen in. He was trying to concentrate on the game itself. We're talking about, who's done this? Who could do that? And we can't. We're talking about Magic. I mean, Magic had, of course, it was a game 6. People have to remember. Yes. 42-15, 7 against Philly on the road. But now we're talking about rarefied air. We're talking about the people on the Mount Rushmore of basketball are the only people to have the kind of game Steph Curry just had. So people, if you watched it, savor it. If you didn't,
go
watch
back
a
and do it again.
something, get a hold of this and see what you missed.
From a historical context, you guys nailed it. So I'll go X and O's wise. For years, I've called Steph Curry the vanguard of this era. Not a point guard or a shooting guard, something that we'd never seen. And all of us grew up in one way, shape, or form watching the Harlem Globetrotters. And I always wondered what it would be like if Curly Neal or Marcus Haynes played in the actual NBA. And when you call Steph Curry the greatest shooter that God has seen, it's not just catch and shoot. Usually the best shooter doesn't have great handles. Usually the guy with great handles isn't one of the best guys to play off the ball and do dribble handoffs and relocations. He does that as well. We're not even talking about the multiple finger rolls like George Gervin he made in today's game as well. Playing with his mouthpiece hanging out of his mouth, okay? This is something we've never seen. A Game 7 is so very incredible. How we talk about superstars lifting their team when it matters the most. That's what we saw, Stephen A.
And let's not forget the last part. When it's 6 minutes left, he already has 45. And there's a timeout, and he's looking into the camera, and he's walking off and saying, they can't finish. They can't finish. That's what he was saying. This is what he does.
I would be remiss not to mention the efforts of Kevon Looney. 21 rebounds, Michael Wilbon. He had an incredible task here going up against Domantas Sabonis, who had excellent offensive, particularly first half in this game.
And then nothing.
And then nothing in the second. And Kevon Looney's task does not get easier from here because now we get LeBron versus Steph. We get the Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The first time that we have seen these two Titans go head-to-head in the playoffs since 2018. Your initial thoughts on this series, Mr. Wilbon?
I can't wait to see it. I feel grateful, to be honest with you, to be able to watch Steph versus LeBron one more time. And now Looney, you mentioned Looney. Anthony Davis can't go every other game against this dude. You see how many times consecutively he had his hands on balls on missed teammates' free throws, shots, defensively how he's playing. And that's a different dimension than the Golden State Warriors have had previously.
Let me tell y'all something. There's two marquee people who were watching this game today. LeBron, who loves the game, who cherishes the game. He's a savant, obviously, the Mount Rushmore, that appreciates the allure, the attraction, the draw, and all that comes with him going up against Steph Curry. That LeBron who's looking forward to this. And the other LeBron that's saying, damn, I really wanted them young pups in Sacramento because it would have given me a better chance to get to the Western Conference Finals. Now I got to go against this dude.
Again.
And it don't feel good. Those were two people watching that game today.
There's no way to talk about all-time great players without at some point mentioning how many championships they have. And LeBron is in his 20th year, and we know how many championships he's accomplished. But now it's going to be a younger group of people who've been watching the league, say, the last 15 years. They're going to possibly get a chance to see Steph Curry eclipse LeBron James.
Yep.
In head-to-head matchups, he has a better playoff record against LeBron James. And this year, it's going to be interesting to see which one of these guys as all-time greats are able to eliminate one from the playoffs.
Steph Curry 15-7 against LeBron all time in these.
Stephen Curry has made a declaration that's sending shockwaves through the entire basketball world. The Warriors sharpshooter boldly declared himself, not Magic Johnson, as the best point guard of all time, a statement that has ignited intense debate. This isn't just a casual claim, it's a direct challenge to one of the most iconic figures in NBA history. Stephen Curry, with 4 championships in a game that has revolutionized the sport, is now openly asking the question, is it me or Magic? And with Stephen A. Smith adding fuel to the fire, this conversation is about to reach a whole new level. Make no mistake, this is one of the most significant debates in basketball, and Curry's words demand attention. But to truly grasp the weight of Curry's statement, we need to look back at what both of these legends have achieved and the legacy they built. When Stephen Curry entered the league in 2012, few could have predicted the seismic impact he would have. Over a decade later, Curry has redefined how basketball is played. His 4 NBA championships with the Warriors aren't just trophies, they symbolize a complete shift in basketball strategy. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the cultural shift. Curry ushered in the three-point revolution, transforming the way teams approach offense. In fact, statistics show that since Curry's rise to prominence, the average number of three-point attempts per game in the NBA has more than doubled, from 18 per game in 2012 to over 36 per game in 2023. This isn't just a personal accomplishment, it's a basketball revolution. And Stephen A. Smith himself has repeatedly pointed out that Curry's influence goes beyond stats. It's the way he's made impossible shots look routine, stretching defenses to the breaking point. But as incredible as this all is, the real question is whether Curry's impact is enough to eclipse the legacy of someone like Magic Johnson, whose dominance in the 80s transformed the Lakers into a defined era. Curry is confident in his place, but is that enough to rewrite history? Yet while Curry's influence on the modern game is undeniable, Magic Johnson's legacy looms large over the point guard position. Magic Johnson's dominance throughout the 1980s is the stuff of legend. 5 championships, 3 MVPs, countless highlights that still define what it means to be a floor general. Magic wasn't just a point guard, he was a revolutionary. Stephen A. would tell you that no one commanded the floor quite like Magic. His ability to control the tempo, his vision, and his larger-than-life presence made the Lakers' Showtime era the most exciting spectacle in sports. But it wasn't just about showmanship, Magic was a winner through and through. Magic's career assists per game average still stands at an astonishing 11.2, a record that remains one of the highest in NBA history. In contrast, Curry, while an outstanding passer, averages just 6.5 assists per game. Magic's ability to facilitate and elevate the play of his teammates is a quality that even Curry would admit is unmatched. However, Magic's dominance was more than just stats. His leadership on and off the court defined the role of the modern point guard. Stephen A. has always emphasized that Magic's charisma and ability to lead made him a transcendent figure, not just in basketball, but in sports overall. Even with all of Magic's accolades, Stephen Curry hasn't backed down from this conversation, and in fact, he's declared himself the top choice. During an appearance on Gil's Arena, Curry made his stance clear. Yes, it's me and Magic. Right? Those simple words sparked a wave of discussion across the basketball world. Curry isn't just claiming his place among the greats, he's asserting that he stands at the top. And with Stephen A. Smith weighing in on the debate, the stakes just got higher. Curry's confidence isn't surprising after all. He's a player who's always thrived under pressure. But this declaration is about more than self-confidence. It's about the understanding that his career, his contributions, and his dominance have redefined what it means to be a point guard in today's NBA. Curry's ability to shoot from almost anywhere on the court is his signature, but it's also his decision-making, his ability to adapt to defenses, and his unshakable poise that have set him apart. When Stephen A. discussed Curry's declaration, he couldn't help but acknowledge that Curry's range and influence on the game are unlike anything we've ever seen. It's a declaration that challenges the long-standing belief that Magic was the pinnacle of point guard greatness, and it's a challenge that Curry doesn't shy away from. But Curry knows that his legacy isn't just about what he's done so far, it's about what lies ahead. At 35 years old, Stephen Curry is still one of the most feared players in the league. As long as he continues to play at an elite level, his case for being the greatest point guard ever will only grow stronger. If Curry can lead the Warriors to a 5th championship, his name will be etched even deeper into the history books. The gap between him and Magic may close, or even disappear entirely. While Magic's legacy was built on his ability to make everyone around him better, Curry's legacy is founded on his ability to single-handedly change the course of a game with a single shot. Stephen A. has said it before, Curry's dominance in today's NBA is something Magic never had to contend with. To put it in perspective, Magic played in an era where three-point shooting was rare. He made only 325 three-pointers in his entire career. Compare that to Curry's record-shattering 3,390 and counting. These numbers matter because they represent the evolution of the game. But Curry knows that individual accolades alone won't decide this debate. It's about championships, leadership, and ultimately legacy. And as we look ahead to what's next for Curry and the Warriors, one thing is clear: this debate is far from over. So who is the greatest point guard of all time? Is it Magic Johnson, the trailblazer who redefined leadership on the court? Or is it Stephen Curry, the sharpshooter who has redefined the game itself? Stephen A. might say that there's no definitive answer yet, but Curry's declaration has made one thing certain: the conversation will continue. With more championships in sight and records still to be broken, Curry's claim to the throne only grows stronger. And no matter where you stand, one thing is for sure: this debate will rage on for years to come.